it's Erin Reed, and today I'm going to make something for my son. Now, I did not make this wooden piece, my husband did, and he carved out the arrow of light because this is for my son when he did his crossover from Cub Scouts to Boy Scouts. And then we have this little groove in here where the arrow is going to rest. And we thought it'd be kind of cool to paint on the inside with this to make it gold. And so I have the modeling paste. I know it's modeling paste, not paint, but I like that it's a little bit thicker to fit into there. So I'm just going to come in and I'm going to come in and paint this. And it doesn't have to be super, I don't want it to look like it's yellow. I wanted it to look like it was like a goldish, and as the whole thing, all these pieces that have been etched out and carved out, as I come in and paint it, it's going to hit the light and it's going to look absolutely gorgeous. So I'm just coming in and I'm painting it in. So that's the first step I'm going to do, is paint all that using, this is the Grecian Gold modeling paste. And links are going to be all down below for you to find it. And this wood is pecan, so it's really pretty. It's got these really cool wood grains in it. I also thought on the back side is we're going to put in our family. Now, I can't get the whole thing to fit. It's just not quite long enough. Part of the F is just not going to stick. But I figure I could also just do a little bit of the F. So we're going to come in and we're going to etch. So I'm actually going to do that part first. And then I'm going to let that dry, and then we're going to paint into the front where that arrow of light piece is. So to make sure this is all sticking down, and unfortunately when this piece, because this is going to hang on the wall, one of the screws got a little strip, so I can't take that off. So if you ever come across a situation where you want to etch something, but there could be something that's kind of lumpy and bumpy in the way, tape is your best friend, and washi tape or painter's tape are all good. So I'm going to come in and make sure I get this completely taped down so that way it's not going to move and groove on me. I'm also going to tape down where I want the F to end. So as you can see, this is the point where I'm going to cut off the F, and partly because that's as far over as I can get with the tail of the F. I'm going to use the same Grecian Gold on the back just to kind of tie in the colors in the front. And my tape is not, because it's kind of rolling over, there's really good, no, try to tape it as best as possible. Some sections are going to be really good because it's going to stop it from me putting extra modeling paste where it doesn't need to be. So I'm going to kind of do the first letter and hold it with my hand. And I don't want this to be super thick. I just want it enough to get the letter across. So I'm just coming in and adding. This goes on like butter. It's so super easy to apply. And so now that I'm coming in here, I'm going to use my finger and kind of hold this section down because it wants to pull up because of that little piece right here. So I'm holding that down, and then do the same thing for over here. Come in really, try not to wiggle it like I just did. And just really lightly come in and finish this off. Might have to do a little tiny cleanup, and that's okay. So now, making sure the rest of this doesn't move, I'm going to come in and I'm going to do the remainder of the letters. And the good news is that the letters are not hinged together, so my F is actually a little bit off. As you can see, the bottom is a little bit off. I might have to tweak. A flat surface is definitely a lot better for this, but it's okay. We're going to make it work. All right, now, moment of truth. How well did I do? Hey, not too bad. Now, right away, you need to take this in and go rinse this off to get out of it. So that way this doesn't get harmed. Made mistakes like I did. You can just take a, kind of a clean paintbrush and make sure it's nice and clean. I still have some of the modeling paste on there. Because this is a little thicker than paint, you're going to have to work a little bit harder to get off. And I'm just going to kind of scrape it off here as best as I can, trying to clean it. So if paintbrush doesn't seem to kind of get it clean, you can also come in. I'm taking a little bit of my pokey tool here, just kind of running it over, trying to pick up as much as I can, cleaning it off. You want to do this fairly quickly, otherwise it's going to set in. So you really want to try and do a really good job of getting into clean, but mistakes happen, and I really can't come in and redo this one, so clean up as best as I can. And that will dry up and that will look a lot better as soon as it starts drying. Right now it's just a little bit wet. That's why it looks kind of funny. So I'm going to let this continue to dry. I'm going to flip over and then we're going to paint inside that arrow with that same Grecian gold. This stencil is from the rustic signpost section, and I just love the word family on this. And again, because I cut it off, it still works. It fit and it fit wonderfully. The end of the Y got cut off. That works okay too. And it works for so many different things because all of this is all about family. The last little thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the date on here, which is the date that he actually got his arrow of light. And just put a little date in the corner. All right, so next step, just let this dry, and then we'll flip over and we'll go to the next step. All right, the back side is dry, and you just have a picture of what that one looked like. It looks really cool. And now I'm going to come through and I'm going to finish painting in the front of this. So it's arrow of light, which is what the Boy Scouts get once they cross over from being a Cub Scout. There's a whole series of little things they have to do, and so this is what the symbol looks like. And then the arrow actually fits in this slot. So when it's all done, I'll have a picture of both this painted and the arrow in there. So you guys don't need to see me sitting here painting and all that stuff. I'll have a picture when it's done, and I'll show you what it looks like here in a moment when it's all finished. So there it is. It looks really, really cool. I love how it's just catching that shine. It really sets off. It's part of the wood, but then not. It's very cool. All right, I'm going to get some pictures at the end of the back and the front, and also with the arrow in there so you guys can see what the whole feeling, what the whole thing looks like. So thanks so much for stopping by. Links and supplies are down below. Please subscribe, and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye-bye.